Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Was Tuesday with your host, James Chen. Street Fighter 6 Season 2 going strong, going hard at this point. We've already finished DreamHack Dallas. I didn't get a chance to talk about that much, but this past weekend we had DreamHack Sweden. Wow, sorry. DreamHack Sweden. James has been fired from DreamHack. DreamHack Sweden, which was a second offline qualifier to the Capcom Cup. And so this weekend was, a big tournament, a big deal. Really kind of one of the first chances where people have now had a while to use Akuma. And so people, they've definitely got a better handle on what Akuma does. And so just really interesting results here that I want to talk about. I mean, to be fair, if I'm trying to look right now, the number of entrants I think was like 150 something or something to that degree. It's really interesting because I'm really not sure how much the tier list is kind of changing. Like there's two egregious ones that have, like if we actually look at the results over here, two egregious ones that stand out really high. But for the most part, like it's interesting. Like again, the game seems strangely very balanced. So again, as you've seen me do in the past before, I'm going to go high tech for you guys here and show you an Excel spreadsheet, baby. Let's go. Excel spreadsheets. Let's do this. But if we actually look at the top 64 here, the character used the most is Ken. The worst Shoto. The Shoto that sucks now, right? I guess he's still kind of good. And in fact, there's a picture out there of Tokido actually saying, I'm sticking with Ken because I think Ken is actually the best character in the game. He's like, Ken might be the best character in the game. So all the, proclamations of Ken being the worst Shoto right now, maybe a little premature, perhaps. But then, in the top 64, Akuma, there was 8 Akumas. No shock there. Guile, but then this is a big one right here. In fact, these two are the big ones here. Obviously, Luke has dropped off compared to a lot of the other characters. Sure, it's 5, which is still a lot, so he's obviously still good. But Zangief with 6 players of Zangief in top 64? Woo! So Zangief doing really, really well here. But then Chun-Li, Cammy, DJ, Ed is on the rise, Jury. Interestingly enough, Rashid's still down here. Blanca, Jamie, and then you look at this list. Marisa, Aki, Dalsum, JP. Man, poor JP. JP, and he's not even that bad, dude. He's not even that bad. And then one Lily, but look at this. Honda, Kimberly, Manon, and Ryu. Only characters not represented in top 64. Did nothing change? Did nothing change? Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, literally, these are the 4 characters who could never make it anywhere before. Oh, man, what is this? What is this? And Ryu is, really good now, too. I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess nobody is still bothered to pick him up or something. But here we have to talk about, the important thing when it comes to looking at results like this. Top 64 is going to be very, very similar to things like seeing how many characters have made it into master rank or, to diamond, because, especially when 64 is over 1/3 of the players in the tournament, we can't necessarily look at top 64 and be like, okay, this is an accurate little number thing, a representation, right? What it does tell us, though, is, which characters can help you get through early rounds of tournaments well and stuff like that. And then based on the matchups, et cetera, et cetera. What is important, however, is to see the drop off of the characters when they go from top 64 to top 32. And so when we see that to getting to top 32, we lost 6 Kens, We lost 2/3 of our Kens. We lost 67% of our Kens from 9 to 3. And from Akuma, we lost 50% of them. And from Guile, we lost, 43% of them. And Zangief, we lost 2/3 as well. So Ken and Zangief are, might just still be in that category where they're just really good scrub killers or characters that are stable enough to get you into the later rounds, right? So Luke ended up dropping, 2/5 of it. So again, remember, we're losing half the players, so a lot of these numbers are going to go down a lot. Chun-Li, lost 75% of her characters, but interestingly enough, Cammy and DJ only losing one character here, but we lost all of our Eds, and we lost all of our juries. So, Rashid, we only lost one Rashid. Blanca, we lost one Blanca. Jamie, we lost all of our Jamies and Marisas. And then, one of the weird things is that Aki and Lily survived, but that's Hikaru and Hibiki. So these aren't very accurate representations, unfortunately. And RJP, Juicy Joe, lasted as well. So it's interesting here. So, this is our top 32. And I think, in my opinion, it's more important to look at the top 32 of the characters. And so here we have our top 32. Akuma and Guile are the highest representatives. And there are a lot of people out there who have said that they feel like Guile kind of got away from the patch without any significant nerfs. And that Guile might become a major problem at this point. And so Akuma being up here, like I said, I feel like Akuma's only going to get stronger because he has so many tools and people are just going to find really nasty things with this character as he continues to be played. I think we'll discover more tech for him as the game goes on. Because remember, Akuma is not even a month old, and already 4 of them in top 32 at an online qualifying premiere. Guile, so again, in season 1, 10 characters were kind of problems. So yeah, Guile kind of counts as one of the problems, but people always didn't, if you fought Guile a lot, you put him higher. But a lot of people didn't put Guile in their top 5. And that was the other thing too, is that JP kept Guile in check. But since all the JP nerfs, Guiles have started to run a little more free. So that is a big difference here. That is a big deal here, that Guile is able to run free a little bit more now. 3 Eds and, wait, hang on a second. Did I get the jury wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. Ed and Jury, I'm sorry. We didn't lose any of them. I'm sorry. I read my own spreadsheet wrong. Is that all of our Eds and Juries survived. We lost 0% of them. They went from 3 to 3 and ended up here. So Ed and Jury are really, really strong. They did really, really well in this tournament. And then 3 Kens as well. But like I said, we lost 2/3 of our Kens. Dude, I can't even read my own spreadsheet correctly. We all of our Eds and Jury survived. So Ed, like I said, Ed is on the uptick. This character is moving upwards fast. I had him listed kind of in the mid before because I wasn't sure, but there's a lot of people that believe in this character now, honestly. So this character is getting really strong. But Ken, still pretty strong. Cammy and DJ still doing well. Luke, remember, he only dropped 1, so we still have some good Lukes in here. But Rashid, I'm sorry, Luke, we dropped 3 of them and left with 2. Rashid, we only dropped 1. Zangiefs, we're only down to 2, and one of them was Itabashi Zangief, who is, again, kind of like a Hikaru with Aki and a Hibiki with Lily. I think they make the character a little bit scarier than they actually are. Blanca still here, Chun-Li, JP, Lily. But interestingly enough, now the characters that have no representation got Dalsum, Jamie, and Marisa added to the list here. So again, this is really starting to look exactly like season 1. Now, one of the reasons why that this is happening might just be because everybody dropped Jamie and Kimberly and Manon, and nobody really seriously played Ryu. A lot of people dropped Honda in season 1. So in season 2, we're still kind of in the I'm catching up to the characters again. right? So a lot of the people who would be placing high with these characters, one, might not be playing in this tournament, such as Monsieur Crimson. Mr. Crimson did not show up to DreamHack Sweden. Congratulations to Mr. Crimson. He said he couldn't go because his wife was about to give birth to a baby at any day now. And recently he showed a picture of himself celebrating with his newborn child. So shout outs to Mr. Crimson. You know, obviously these characters didn't get as much usage in tournaments in season 1. So it might just be that nobody has tried to seriously pick them back up just yet. It's just yet. So honestly, DJ Blues, like, again, I hate being this guy and I hate always downplaying my characters because that's what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if Kimberly is the worst character this season. I actually wouldn't be surprised because they didn't fix any of her weaknesses. They strengthened her strengths and they didn't fix any of her weaknesses, unfortunately. The wake up drive reversal is nice, but it gets baited and you die, and I'd rather have something that beats drive rush cancels and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so this is our situation here from the top 32. But then when we actually get to the top 16, the Akumas all but vanish, right? We lose 3 of them. Guile does well. Ed survives pretty decently. Only 1 jury left. 2 Ken survive. So Ken, you know, starting with 9 and then dropping to 3 seems bad, but going from 3 to 2 isn't terrible. And then for pretty much everybody else, it's kind of what you expect, although both of the Lukes survive. So both of the Lukes survive. Aki, Hikaru's Aki lives. Hibiki's Lily does not. And Itabashi is the only Zangief that makes it into the top 8. 16. Shit. Top 16. He's the only one that makes it into the top 16. So you can see here, you know, we're going to expect precipitous drop-offs for a lot of characters here. But interestingly enough, Ken and Ed going from 3 to 2, doing really, really well. And then we finally get to the top 16, where Ed, Guile, Ken, and Luke have the most representation. And this is where we will see, you know, this is a most accurate level of the strongest characters. So even though we had 9 Zangiefs in top 64, like I said, there was only 157 people, I think, who entered this tournament. So we can't take those numbers to heart. Instead, we're looking at these numbers here, and Ed and Guile, and Ken and Luke. So these are the 2 characters that were good all along, and are probably still good. Guile is a character who really kind of snuck away through season 2. And then Ed is, like I said, the character that is really on the rise right now. And then everybody else here is 1 sorted alphabetically, so the order doesn't matter here. Aki, Akuma, Kami, DJ, JP, Jury, Rashid, and Zangief. The only characters that that dropped out of this one were Blanca, Chun-Li, and Lily. So they were the ones that got added to the 0 list down here. And I also, by the way, I'm not accounting for secondaries here. But so if we actually look at the top 8, this is probably one of the most telling things ever. We have no repeat characters in top 8. So if we go from top 16 to top 8, we lose both of our Eds. We lose 1 Guile, 1 Ken, 1 Luke. The Aki survives. We lost all of our... the Akuma survives. The Kami survives. We lost our DJ. We lost our JP. We lost our Jury. We kept the Rashid. We kept the Zangief. And so we're literally at a point where we had 8 different characters in top 8. So we had an Aki, an Akuma, a Kami, a Guile, a Ken, a Rashid, and a Zangief. And Zangief and Aki were the 2 characters that did not do well last season that have made this list up here. But again, please keep in mind that they are being used by some exceptional players out there. Although I did not know Hikaru was 20 years old, because goddamn, he looked young. Those Asian genes, man, he looks super young, but clearly he is a lot stronger than his age, you know, would make you think. And we've had a lot of great players at 20, but, you know, the Aki and the Zangief were used by experts, Itazan and Hikaru. Akuma was Kawano, Kami was Punk, Guile was Rain Pro, Ken was, God, who was the Ken player? Shit, what? Ken player, was it Armper? No, it wasn't Armper. Luke was Bonchan. Rashid was the winner, Big Bird. Xiaohai, you're right. Xiaohai was the Ken. And Zangief was Itazan. So really, really good representation over here. And, again, season 1 I thought was really well balanced. And this is, again, season 2 came out. A lot of people were mad. They were like, what? This patch seems so minor. And I don't know, like in the end now, I feel like it's done an amazing job here. And yeah, John the Automaton, Big Bird did not play Marisa. As he said during his winter interview, he felt like dropping Marisa was like dropping the weights in that Naruto famous scene or whatever like that, the ankle weights or whatever. And so, Rashid is another character that's moving up on the list. So Rashid, like, when the patch came out, there were some people who were like, yo, I think Rashid might be top 3 now. And Rashid was really good before. We were only getting better with him, and now is Rashid clearly one of the strongest? I mean, he literally won both DreamHacks. Gachikun and Big Bird won both DreamHacks with Rashid. So Rashid is now 2 for 2 at DreamHack qualifiers into the EWC. So, interesting thought there. Interesting thing to see. I mean, he could get nerfed. Who knows? But, again, we still have a lot to discover. Zangief, I mean, did you watch the matches? I streamed him on my channel. And Zangief, I mean, he literally could have won the tournament. But Itabashi dropped a combo because he got combo mixed up. He got 2 combos in his head at the same time and accidentally mixed them up. And so he dropped his killing combo on Kawano to get into winners finals. So Itabashi should have been top 3. And if Itazan then went on to win the tournament, we would all be having a completely different conversation right now. But clearly Zangief is better. Like, I've said that I don't think he's top tier. That's what I've said in some of my older streams, my streams in the past couple of weeks, that I was saying I think the, oh my God, Zangief is so good is exaggerated. But I did say I think he's good. And I think that the Zangief experts out there will be able to win tournaments now. So I do think Zangief is good. And I think he will have the ability to do some damage. But I like where he is right now because, again, I don't think he's a top 5 character right now. And I think we'll all learn how to fight him a little bit better as time goes on. And so, I mean, that's what happens to grapplers all the time. So I really feel like right now, Zangief, he might be in a really good position in the tier list in which he's strong, but he's not going to be broken. And I think that's really cool. Yeah, we're going to see a Zangief win a tournament very soon, I think. I don't think it's going to take that long. Itazan or Snake Eyes is going to win a tournament at some point in time, pretty soon. Or someone like Ramsey from the Midwest. Zangief player is going to be cooking at some point in time, and it'll be really cool to see. I'm going to hate to see what the internet discourse is going to be like after that. But as I said on social media, Itazan took one for the team. He dropped the combo actually on purpose so Zangief wouldn't win, so that Capcom won't nerf him in any future patches. So to get the internet talking about Rashid instead of Zangief, that was Itazan's plan all along, and we thank you, our Lord and Savior, Itazan. But Big Bird ended up taking it, and Big Bird, his response was like, to all the people out there who said I was washed up, I don't talk back on Twitter. I talk back at tournaments, blah, blah, blah. And, I love Big Bird. Don't pay those guys. Don't pay these people any heed, man. Don't give them any. As I said to Big Bird on Twitter, every player who has played in these pro tournaments before has been called washed up at one point in time. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. You do bad at an event, you're washed up. Daigo's been called washed up. Punk's been called washed up. Knuckle Dude's been called washed up. Meta Ardia's been called washed up. Everybody's been called washed up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, if you have haters, you're doing something right. Or, just ignore the haters or whatever like that. But, You have to, people are stupid and they just want to be mean. People just want to be mean. I don't know what it is about people predisposed to wanting to be an asshole on the internet. I don't get it. I mean, my only theory, and it's, one of those things, it's just like, they're miserable. And so like, there is this kind of thing that you want to make other people miserable. Something to that extent. I mean, even if you're anonymous, like, what does it do, right? I mean, so I think it just really is that people have a predisposition to dislike things, and then when they dislike things, they need to express it, and they're hoping to see other people agree with them because they need validation. And that's just really kind of what it comes down to. Or, like I said, these people just like making other people miserable because they're miserable, right? Like they're bothered by something. It's weird. I don't know. I hate it. I think it's stupid. But at the same time, like I said, there's really no reason to pay heed to that. But I will also say that I had no doubts that Big Bird would get back into this area because, obviously a lot of people weren't talking about Big Bird. They started talking about Angry Bird because he got top, he won Evo, all this stuff, and Big Bird hadn't been performing as well. And I kept saying it, and I never directed it directly at Big Bird, but I've always been saying that Marisa is not good enough to be stable in a tournament because I have said every character that does not have an OD reversal is not good enough to win. And I really believe that. And I think that's where Zangief is going to die eventually too. I think Zangief is going to fall because he's going to run into a lot of the same problems as a lot of other characters who without ODDPs are going to run into. And so I never said it out loud. I never said it directly to Big Bird or anybody, but I really felt like Marisa was holding him back. I really felt like Marisa was the reason he wasn't performing as well in Street Fighter 6 as he was in Street Fighter 5. Because yes, Marisa has a bunch of other weaknesses, but not having that OD reversal in a game like this is just enough instability to completely take you out of the game, to completely put you in a position where you can get randomed out or have somebody just have the right sequence to kill you. You lose stability without that. Crouching medium kick is absolutely another thing. I'm sorry, low forward is another thing that's very, very valuable to have. I mean, OD Mixer works. If you do Jinrai mix-ups, OD Mixer works. If you do drive rush cancel into a button that's not a true block string, OD Mixer works. OD Mixer is fine. It works exactly like an OD reversal in all of the OD reversal situations. There really is no problem. Like, as an anti-air, like, I don't even care. You don't need, like, having an anti-air doesn't make you one of the best. Having an OD reversal to steal turns, to break out of things that don't have gaps, and to, make someone think about things on Oki is what makes having an OD reversal powerful. It's not an anti-air situation. It's not a wake-up situation. It's just having the ability to steal turns and do all that kind of thing. So it's really powerful. And the wake-up drive reversal is very weak, John the Automaton, because it takes so long to start up. Holy crap. Like, there's so many ways to throw buttons in there and still block in time. Wake-up drive reversals will beat heavy buttons, some medium buttons, and throw attempts. But if someone comes at you with a light, a lot of the times they can go for a meaty and it gets blocked, and then they recover before the drive reversal, and then they block that, and then they get to punish you really badly for that. So it's not good enough. And again, wake up drive reversal only works during wake up. You can't do a wake up drive reversal on the drive rush cancel, on a Jinrai loop to steal turns, etc., etc. Like, it's only for wake up. And that's not why I'm saying you need an OD reversal. It's not just for wake up situations. It's for all the pressure and everything that everybody else does. Because when people are plus, they tend to take their turn. It's very common, and it's a good place to bust out with an OD reversal. Wake up drive reversal doesn't do that. Like, they don't actually let you do that. You can't perform when there, so you have to hold it no matter what. And so it's not good enough. And so, you know, when we look at this list over here, we see Akuma, Cammy, Guile, Ken, Luke, Rashid. You know, those are the 6 characters that I feel like are going to continue to stay strong because they still have an OD reversal. When we look at the 4 characters that didn't make it, so Ryu, Manon, Kimberly, and Honda, like all those characters, well, Ryu has it. I don't know what's wrong with Ryu. Hopefully Ryu should get in there, so... why don't they make Wake Up Drive versus -4 or -5? Because then they'd be too good, potentially. Like, they would just be annoying to deal with. You'd have to learn to neutral jump it and stuff, and they want them to be punishable significantly, is really what they're trying to do. Otherwise, you know, do you want to give everybody, like, some really crazy way to just kind of escape the situation for free? I mean, I guess a Wake Up DP would be kind of the same, but Wake Up DPs are also really, really punishable. And so that's the thing, is if you actually made them -4 or -5, they would become potentially better than your DP if they were faster, obviously. So even characters with DPs would rather use a Wake Up Drive reversal, and it just gets kind of weird at that point in time. So yeah, and that's another weird one too, is if you don't have a 6-frame punish, then you're in trouble. You can't hurt them as badly. So 6 is a weird number that they've chosen. Like 7 might have been better if they wanted it to be consistent, so that everybody can punish it pretty similarly. But some characters do not have a 6-frame medium punish. I mean, like Zangief, but Zangief's just going to SPD you anyway. I'd have to go through the frame list, the frame data list, just to see if I can figure out who doesn't have one. But in any case, the point being is that Wake Up Drive reversal does not solve the problem. And having an OD reversal is important because it works in situations not during Wake Up. And so, you know, seeing Big Bird be able to move from Marisa to Rashid. And again, you know, Rashid obviously has a lot of strengths that are better than Marisa. Marisa has other weaknesses. She has bad anti-airs, etc., etc. But for anybody playing this game, I think the stability of having an OD reversal is really, really valuable because, yeah, you might get your DP blocked in situations where the enemy is plus, where you're stealing turns, etc., etc. But in this game, one get off me, successful get off me, can sometimes turn a whole match around. And that's just enough to get you to win comebacks. And so what happens is it's not just when they get hit by it, but we've seen situations like, I mean, there are times where you'll see, you know, a person gets a pressure and they, on it does happen to be knockdown, but then you see them back away and the guy who gets up doesn't do the OD reversal. So not without even having done the OD reversal, it affected the gameplay because the other guy's like, I expect a Wake Up DP. You know, when you fight a Lily online and you knock her down, you're just like, I'm going to walk up and punch her. When you knock Kimberly down, I'm going to walk up and punch her. But when you knock down like a Ken or a Guile, you're like, is he going to Wake Up OD? I have to kind of guess. And like, having that is so important. I mean, obviously it's great in a lot of games, but I feel like in 6, it's more important than ever because of things like the drive rush cancels and because the offense in this game is so much scarier. So, right, yeah, no, Kimberly's biggest buff is absolutely the Wake Up Drive reversal. 100%. 100% that's her best buff. And everybody got it, exactly. Oh, man. So, again, you know, I'm glad to see Big Bird go with Rashid. And I'm so excited to see Big Bird just killing it again. I think it's going to be so good. Dude, the Fierce Roundhouse combo for Cammy, I think is amazing. That alone makes me think Cammy is better. And even if she isn't stronger with the Spin Knuckle nerf, she's better for me. I have way more fun playing Cammy now that I have a real hooligan mix. Because it makes me want to land stuff and it's fun and I get to do cool things. So it definitely has made her better for me. But I think that Fierce Roundhouse combo is really, really strong. But there you go. So that's DreamHack Sweden. Really good stuff. Fun event again. Season 2 is looking really good, man. Season 2 is looking really good. Right, yeah. I mean, he even said that in his interview himself, Nick, who says, Big Bird, I'm so happy Big Bird's focusing on Rashid. His mind works fast, which shoots Rashid. And he even said that himself. He's like, yeah, the way that I play Marisa was actually kind of a little opposite of that. So it's been good going back to Rashid. And so, yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. And I think Big Bird and Rashid is a great combination. And he was never washed up. It's going to sound, I mean, obviously it sounds antithetical when I say I'm glad to see him back. But, you know, I really do think that Marisa was holding him back. I really do think Marisa was holding him back. Because there was one point in time, Big Bird was like, I think Marisa's top 5 because she's never out of it. Like, she can kill you, like, at any time. And I was like, you're right. But in my brain, I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify. And even early on when he was having all that success with Marisa, I still put her mid. Like, the way Big Bird was winning with her still couldn't convince me that she was strong enough. And I can't even fight Marisa. Marisa kicks my ass. But, like, look, I've been doing this for a long goddamn time, okay? People like to discount me because I'm just a commentator and I don't play. But I'm telling you right now, I am weirdly prophetic, not even prophetic, I'm just weirdly intelligent and smart and analytical about these things when I see characters. Blanca wasn't winning early on and I said he's top 3 because I was like, his tools are too good. His tools are too strong. He's going to get there. And now by the end of season 1, everyone thought Blanca was the cheapest character in the game. So look, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Give me some credit here, okay? Please, give me some credit, please. Oh, man. Anyways, DreamHack Sweden, great tournament, fun to watch. If you guys missed it, shout outs to Tampa Never Sleeps. They put the entire tournament, complete with timestamps, the entire stream on their channel already, so you can go check that out. A lot of great matches out there. But again, the top 8 qualified to EWC automatically. So the first place was mostly for the money more than anything else. And that went to Big Bird, but Big Bird, I'm sure, had a lot to prove to himself as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. And again, I hope you guys appreciate this content that I've been putting out for you guys. Trying to put out a lot more content as well, a lot of short form videos. So if you're enjoying the short form videos, please let me know as well. And let me know if you want me to keep making those videos. If you're listening to this on podcast, I haven't been putting the short form videos out available as audio. I've only been leaving, they're like 10, 12 minutes long, and I've only been leaving them on the YouTube channel. I probably won't put them on SoundCloud as audio because they're just too short. And, you know, just as a way to maybe try to pull some of you audio listeners to the YouTube channel. So, you know, I definitely appreciate the support on the YouTube channel as much. I'm trying to build this thing up because I need to get to a point where the YouTube and the Twitch content can support me over the commentary stuff because commentary is it's a thing. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. And the day that this podcast graced your ears was the most important day of your life. But for me and for Nathan here, who was giving me head rubs because he's hungry.
It was Tuesday.